Ooh, we have to talk about this one. Can you shoot an unarmed person?
We're the Armed Attorneys, and today we're talking about whether or not you can shoot an attacker who is unarmed. Before we get rolling, show your support for the Second Amendment by hitting that like button, and be sure to stick around to the end when we talk about our pro tip on how to tell the police you were in fear for your life.
To kick us off, let's talk about, and there's really three key takeaways to this discussion. And the first one is the general principle that deadly force has to meet deadly force. And so what does that mean to you, Emily?
Yeah, well, oftentimes that does mean you're being confronted with a deadly weapon. You're looking at something that's capable of causing you serious bodily injury or death. We're talking about firearms, knives, clubs, that's baseball bats, crowbars, anything you could think of that would really trigger I'm being attacked. But really, deadly force can be accomplished with lots of things that aren't traditional weapons. Richard, do you want to break that down?
And especially, I talk to a lot of clients who maybe they have mobility issues or they have, some kind of health condition that would limit their ability to defend themselves, or, let's say a fist or something that wouldn't be traditionally considered a deadly weapon would cause maybe possibly serious bodily injury or death to them if they came into contact with this person. And so it's a combination of, we have all these different things that can definitely hurt you, could definitely cause serious bodily injury, could kill you even. And then it's compounded by the fact that, hey, maybe this person is more susceptible to attack. And I think at the end of the day, and so that's kind of the second takeaway is, how is our person being attacked situated? So the first one is general principle. We want deadly force meeting deadly force. The second principle, what is deadly force in relation to me? And the third one I would say is what the jury looks at, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, and you can certainly be in a situation where someone is beating you to death with their bare hands. That is deadly force. You can shoot that attacker. And of course, it's even compounded when Richard was saying, if you are elderly, infirm, disabled. One time we had a client who had a patch in his skull and was very concerned that being dropped to the ground could cause him to have a seizure and die. Mm-hmm. Things like that are considerations. But you really have to be in the midst of a really vicious attack to shoot an unarmed attacker because of this jury perception that Richard brought up. Jurors don't like it. I mean, if someone's just coming at you and you think, well, he's a big guy, if he hits me, I'll die, and you shoot him preemptively, the law doesn't necessarily say that you're going to be convicted, but our experience says that probably. As people who have seen and tried so many self-defense cases, jurors don't like it. So, I think our takeaway here is if you are going to shoot an unarmed attacker, you have to be absolutely certain that you're going to suffer serious bodily injury or death imminently, and you've got to have reasons to show the jury, show those police officers why you had that belief.
And that gets us to our pro tip of the day. What do I say if I've been attacked and I'm forced to defend myself? And I talk to a lot of clients about this, and it reminds me of, South Park a little bit, because what you see in all these publications is saying, I'm in fear for my life. And that just doesn't have the same effect like it did, maybe 10 years ago or so. That sounds kind of rehearsed and repeated. And so our pro tip on this is, if you're ever forced into one of these positions where you have to defend your life, defend someone else, what we advise our clients to do in those situations is to make a short, truthful statement about the defensive incident. Not, I was in fear for my life. Say, instead, the attacker kicked down my door and I was forced to defend myself. Or, I was at the gas station pumping gas and this guy came up to me with a knife and I had to defend myself. So incorporating a short, truthful statement about the defensive incident, not just some, copy paste, I was in fear for my life. They don't like that.
Exactly. And to get that same point across, I was in fear for my life. It's how the law is written. It sounds unnatural. I knew he was going to kill me. Or I knew I was going to die if I didn't act. Those are the natural statements that, if truthful, you want to express to police. They are not going to be as scrutinized as I was in fear for my life.
Well, thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this content, consider subscribing and hit that like button, and help us fight the anti-2A algorithm by sharing this video.
Continue to leave your questions and comments below. And until next time, we're the Armed Attorneys.